Excuse me, sir, is this the Delta House?
Sure. Come on in.
They have cold beer and action on the game.
I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in here.
It's time for the Degenerates Next Door.
Dollar bills, y'all.
We got a lot of stuff going on. Gambling stuff. I'm Jason Hammer. I do the Hammer and Nigel show in Indianapolis alongside #1 rated radio host in his own right, former elected official and tax-cutting machine, Rob Kendall. And that's the Twitter handle of this program, Gambling Stuff.
First place in the college football picks, Hammer. How about that?
But this is the NFL show.
First place in the college football picks. How about that?
There's a lot of stuff going on in the sports lexicon. We've got ESPN Bet going away, Rob. Penn Gaming, which apparently their marketing model is to just hemorrhage money. These were the people that got in bed with Barstool early on, and they paid a big price to have Barstool roll out their Penn Gaming sports betting app. Paid a crap ton of money to Portnoy and Barstool. Didn't work out. They broke that deal in a year, and then sold it all back to Portnoy for just $1. They were willing to eat it all for $1 because then they got in bed with ESPN. Well, we find out today that Penn Gaming is going to now eat the remaining 8 years of the deal with ESPN, Rob. So you add all of this up together, in terms of marketing, Penn Gaming, between Barstool and ESPN, they're going to be down about $1 billion.
To quote the great Austin Powers, what does it all mean, Basil? What is going on with any of this? How do these guys have jobs? How are these people CEOs or leaders of companies and they just keep making bad choices? How do people get all this money from doing rotten, horrible things? And you and I, we're stuck with each other.
I'm sitting here in a room next to you, and Penn Gaming can lose $1 billion over a couple of years span. I mean, my God, the Bud Light chick thinks that's ridiculous. Alyssa Heinerscheid, who ruined the Bud Light brand. The chick that tried to do the cute remake of Cracker Barrel thinks that Penn Gaming's marketing staff needs to be fired here. That is so much money. And now ESPN, they've announced that the whole ESPN Bet app, which was a horrible app. Gamblers hated that app. The house rules were ridiculous. It's the equivalent of going to a roulette table in Vegas and there being 4 green zeros on the wheel. I mean, the house rules were crap, total ass. ESPN is doing away with it, and they're just going to partner with DraftKings.
You and I have talked about this for a while. It's one thing to, on the stock market, consult your trained professional, investment professional. But if you invest in Walmart, you feel pretty good about what Walmart's going to do because there's a 40-year trend of how Walmart has performed. But with these sports betting apps, man, it's like the crypto Wild West because they're coming and going. It just seems like a very risky thing. With 2 major brands. I mean, you have a Coke and a Pepsi, right? FanDuel and DraftKings. To make some huge risky bet that you're going to somehow upend Coke or Pepsi, and it appears it's not working here.
And they've tried the grassroots sports level. Talking about Penn Gaming here. They've tried Barstool. They tried ESPN. It didn't work. You mentioned the big 2. There are others that are good that are out there. I like Bet Rivers. I've never had many problems with Bet Rivers. Caesars. Okay, they got the backing of Caesars. BetMGM, they got the backing of MGM. But boy, Penn has just tried to find lightning in a bottle, and all they've done is just piss the money away. So Penn Gaming, if you're listening right now and you still have $1 billion you want to throw at somebody, Rob and I will take it.
Yeah.
The Degenerates Next Door. This is where you need to spend your money. Hell, we could probably get you better results than Barstool and ESPN did, and we're a hell of a lot more entertaining. So Penn Gaming, if you're still in the business of just crapping money away, throwing it at people and not knowing what's going to happen next, Rob and I are your huckleberries. That being said, I want action tonight.
I want action tonight. Satisfaction all night.
So, Rob, do you see this yellow piece of notebook paper?
It
I've
looks
got
bad.
here? I made some notes while sitting on the can last night. And the first two words that are written on this page, and I'm going to show it to you, Raiders stink. That brings us to our game tonight. The Las Vegas Raiders at the Denver Broncos. Broncos around a 9 to 9.5 point favorite, depending on where you're looking. And the over-under's at 43. This game stinks. This game stinks. And I know Denver's got a great record, but is anybody ever excited to watch a Denver Broncos game? Is Bo Nix really that good? Like, Bronco fans are, fondling themselves over Bo Nix. Would you rather have Trevor Lawrence or Bo Nix? Would you rather have C.J. Stroud or Bo Nix? Like, Bo Nix is kind of middle to back of the pack, but Bronco fans are acting like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I don't see it. But I do think that number is a little high tonight. The Raiders stink. They just traded Jacoby Myers. They went all in after the bye to try to win a game last week. They went for it on the 2-point conversion. They lost, and then they traded one of their playmakers. Not since France have I seen a team surrender as much as the Raiders have on this season. But this is the Broncos' third game in 11 days. They've had a weird travel schedule. They've had to go overseas. They've had some Monday. They've had some Sunday night or Thursday night game tonight, rather. This is their third game in 11 days. It's a divisional matchup. 7 of the Raiders' last 8 road games against the AFC West have gone under. I like the under in this one tonight. Hold your nose because it's kind of a low number, but I don't know how much help you're going to get from the Broncos or the Raiders tonight. Under 43 is the play that I'm looking at. I don't like it any more than you guys do, but under 43 is where I'm living at. Now, the game of the week is New England at Tampa Bay. Drake May, Baker Mayfield. Rob, Tampa Bay is a 2.5 point home favorite, and the over-under is right around 48.
Now, let me be very clear, very specific. I'm in first place in the college football picks. Have I pointed that out to everyone?
You pointed that out Tuesday.
But boy, do I stink at the NFL this year. So if every instinct I have is wrong, you got to go the opposite. And I really want to take that Tampa Bay minus 2.5.
You're George Costanza right now. You're the opposite of every man.
So if I think that, then Drake May is going to have the greatest game of his life and throw for 500 yards, and I'll lose it there. So looking at these previous games, the New England Patriots have not gone over 48.5 in quite a while. I feel like Tampa Bay's so hit and miss. Like, they scored 9 points against the Lions. They scored 23 against the Saints. Those aren't exactly world beaters, right? Those are road games. I'll go under 48.5.
Under 48.5. That is for Mr. Kendall. Now, I've seen that total at normal 48, too. So if you want to try to buy that hook off, feel free to shop around. But if you're wed to a specific book, knock yourself out. You would take that up to 48.5 on the under, right?
Yeah, that's right. 48. Well, I mean, if you're going to give it to me, where'd you see it at 48?
Bet Rivers.
Wow. Man, that's such a big, it sounds like such a small difference.
But how many times have we all been beat by the hook?
But I would want it at 48.5 on the under, right?
You would?
Yeah, so I'm getting the better deal.
Okay.
You're like a used car salesman over here, trying to sell me something I don't need. You keep your bet, Rivers. I'll stay somewhere else.
I just want you to fail. Like Rush Limbaugh on Barack Obama.
You were literally trying to talk me into a worse deal like it was some legitimately good thing. But, Rob, have you thought about the undercoating?
Call me ESPN Bet. I'm trying to get you a worse deal.
Like 2 seconds in, I was like, wait a second. He's trying to screw me over.
Speaking of getting screwed over, you bring up college football.
Yes.
Who's the one guy that always screws me in college football?
Row
Rob?
your boat guy.
Row your boat guy, PJ Fleck of Minnesota.
Row your boat guy.
I pick him to win, he'll lose. Pick him to lose, he'll win. I have a record of 1-98 against PJ Fleck, row your boat guy at Minnesota.
Yeah.
But you know when that last one was?
Most recent one.
Most recently this year.
Yeah.
Now, the NFL version of row your boat guy to me is Baker Mayfield. It doesn't matter what team he's on. The Cleveland Browns, the Carolina Panthers, the Tampa Bay Bucks. I bet him to win, he'll lose. Bet him to lose, he'll win. So what I'm going to do all right, Baker Mayfield, I don't like you and you don't like me. But we're in this thing together now. The media loves you. You could just fart on the sideline. Oh, that was an MVP caliber fart. We have to give him the MVP award, Baker Mayfield. Remember when he danced at Oklahoma? Oh, my God, let me take my pants off. I like Tampa Bay in this spot because I think the defense of Tampa Bay is going to get after Drake May. Now, Tampa Bay won last week against Atlanta, but Drake May got sacked a lot. And there was a lot of pressure. And I think Tampa Bay's defense is better than Atlanta's. This is a road game, and it's less than a field goal. So if you buy the adage that home field advantage is worth a field goal, then you win this game by the hook. So Baker Mayfield, we're in this thing together, kid. I'm laying 2.5 with the Fighting Baker Mayfield of Tampa Bay's, and we'll see if, much like row your boat guy, I can get a rare win. All right, coming up next, our professional handicappers, Kenny Britt, David Stephanoff, will get their plays. We are the Degenerates Next Door. All right, so when we bring on our professional handicappers, Kenny Britt of KB Sports and David Stephanoff of Fall Never Fade, usually, we have a little light chat, and then we get into the meat and potatoes. Free picks, free bets from our professional gamblers. But KB, we've got a couple things on the checklist here that I feel like you need to address. Now, before we get to your beef with YouTube and the NFL and everything in between here, I am a man of my word. I said you would be able to come onto this podcast and spew all of your Pittsburgh Steelers bullshit that you wanted. So go ahead.
That was an old-fashioned behind the woodshed ass whipping last week. Pittsburgh crushed you guys. I want to do a little karaoke. Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. little whiz.
Fair enough.
It was
fair
great.
enough.
It was, Jason. It was great. Last week, you guys didn't even let the body get cold when Green Bay annihilated us. So I gave you a little bit on Tuesday. Giving you some more today. We just whipped some ass against the Colts. And now the national media is like, oh, here's Danny Jones. The real Danny Jones is coming out of the closet.
and Rob Kendall's right. And this is a term of endearment for you, Kenny. You are every stereotype of a Steelers fan. Everything you can think of rolled up into one, that's you.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
Well, when you continually text us the 2 hands with the 6 rings in the middle finger, I feel like that is a compliment.
Very much so. Very much so. Yeah. Steelers fans, they're all over the country. They travel well. They're just a big brand. And people ask me all the time, why am I a Steeler fan? I'm old enough to where I watched football before the Colts came to town.
Right.
And there was only a handful of teams on local TV.
Now, again, for those who may be new to the show or listening out of market, we are based in Indianapolis.
Right. So 84 is when the Colts came. I was watching football before that, and I only had a handful of teams to choose from, the Bears, the Bengals, the Steelers, basically. And I just gravitated towards Pittsburgh, and they're my team.
Okay.
So that's the reasoning behind the madness.
Now, are you going to be able to watch your beloved, and I quote, Steelers,
boy.
because you are a YouTube TV guy,
Yes.
And there's a little controversy. At the time of this podcast, which is Thursday around noon, there's a big deal going on right now where you're not going to be able to have access.
Well, I got access because I know people, but my brother-in-law has DirecTV, so I downloaded that on my Roku, got his information, and I was allowed to watch, or I could watch Monday Night Football this past weekend, but most YouTube people could not do that. It's bullshit. You've got billionaires fighting billionaires over billions of dollars. It's maddening. We went through this a couple months ago. Was it Fox or CBS or whoever? I'm tired of it. I am tired of it. All these streaming services now, you've got to have 8 streaming services to watch specific games now.
That's why I went back to cable, Kenny. Like, honestly, I was a cord cutter years ago and, got Netflix and Hulu. Okay, great. And now all these other streaming outlets come along. By the time you factor it all up, it was cheaper for me to go back to cable and have my home internet with my sports package than it was to get all of these streaming outlets.
It's maddening. It really is, Jason. And me and my wife have talked about that. But I just saw what Pat McAfee said to all these ESPN, like Stephen A. Smith. We don't give a shit what you guys have to say. We just want to watch football. We don't give a shit. We just want to watch football. We only get 13 weeks of college football a year. We wait all year to look forward to it. And you took last weekend away from us. Are you going to take this weekend away from us too? Because I couldn't watch Tennessee, Oklahoma last weekend, and I had a lot of money on it.
Let's keep it with the NFL for just a second here, Kenny, because I talked about this with Outkick when I jumped on that program earlier today with our pal Dan Dockich. Does Roger Goodell need to step up? Because I'm tired of Roger Goodell talking about growing the game internationally. We're playing in London. We're playing in Germany. We've got an all-Spanish halftime show. Meanwhile, American fans can't watch the damn games. I feel like maybe a little less focus on international and a little more taking care of your base by Roger Goodell.
That's 1,000% excellent point, Jason. He should. They're by far the of the 4 major sports the best sports model. But yes, Roger Goodell needs to step up. He's the one that is wanting all these streaming services to have a little piece of their pie, and it's being ruined. And again, we get 13 Saturdays a year. We look forward to it starting in January. And we lost a Saturday last week, Jason. We lost one. We don't get it back. I get home from the horse track. I want to watch Tennessee, Oklahoma. I can't watch it. I'm fucking pissed. Sorry about that.
Oh, good.
So,
yes. Good.
you got me all worked up, Jason.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, like I said, I've got access to ABC and ESPN this weekend, so I'll be okay. But most of the 10 million people don't. It's ridiculous. Yes, Roger Goodell does need to step up, or Donald Trump. We won't get into politics on this show, but somebody needs to step up and say, listen, you guys are billionaires fighting over billions of dollars. You're both going to make money off of it. YouTube's got the Sunday ticket. That's why I have YouTube. It's worth the Sunday ticket. You're already making billions off that. Come on, guys.
And nothing changed. Nothing changed from the offseason to now, but they're choosing now to do it. They waited until the base, the football fan base, got halfway through the season before they decided to screw you. And this is something I say all the time. These big companies do not care about you. They will fire you in front of your family on Christmas Day if it means they can save some money, and they do not care that you're a passionate, loyal consumer of the product. They don't give a damn.
And they think the $20 credit is going to make us feel okay. That's not the funny part. It's the part that really pisses me off. Well, we'll give you a $20. Fuck your $20 credit. I want to watch football.
Right. This is what we look forward to as degenerate dudes.
Yes, and I was really pissed Saturday night when I got home. I had forgotten about all that. Again, Tennessee, Oklahoma had a lot of money going on that game. I couldn't watch it. I was furious.
Well, on behalf of the Tennessee Volunteer fan base, you didn't miss much. All right, let's get into our game of the week here. New England at Tampa Bay. Everybody's drinking the Drake May Kool-Aid. Baker Mayfield's a media darling. Tampa Bay is a 2.5-point home favorite. The total right around 48, Kenny.
Yeah, I'll keep this short since we spent so much time rambling, but I think I like the under in this game, Jason. Both teams play pretty good defense. Both teams are a little banged up offensively. I think New England's going to try to run the ball a lot. I like the under in this game. It's more of a gut feeling on this one. Sometimes you just get that feeling of that. I hit the under last week on KC Buffalo. So I'm going the under 48 on this game, Jason.
And for any other game on the board, your pick. Anything you feeling good about?
There is some I'm feeling good about. Baltimore at Minnesota. I was on this podcast last week I said Detroit minus 8.5 is a lock over Minnesota. There's no way Minnesota's going to beat them. I'm not buying J.J. McCarthy, blah, 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 blah. Minnesota win in Detroit and beat them. However, I watched the game on my laptop as I was watching the Pittsburgh Steelers annihilate the Indianapolis Colts on my big screen. Right. There's more to the game than Minnesota winning. Detroit had 10 penalties. 7 of them were on 3rd and long for Minnesota that gave them a first down. J.J. McCarthy threw for 116 yards. I'm still not buying his stock. I don't think he's going to be an NFL quarterback in 5 years. You might laugh at that, but I don't see it. Baltimore, after their bye week, John Harbaugh, after Andy Reid and Tomlin, him and Tomlin are the same level. John Harbaugh's the man. I don't think Minnesota's got a chance against Baltimore this weekend. Baltimore's laying 4.5. Doesn't scare me. There's a saying out there, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. We'll see if that comes true Sunday afternoon. But Jason, I'm all over Baltimore. I hate Baltimore because I'm a Steelers fan. But J.J. McCarthy is a bad, bad quarterback. And I said it last week. I might have to eat my words again. But Baltimore minus 4.5. I like to see what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, it's fade JJ. If you find a quarterback that can underperform, you got to ride that, don't you? You've got to just keep going against him week after week. It's not always finding somebody you believe in. Sometimes a gambler's got to find somebody they don't believe in, and you can get the same result. So Baltimore minus 4.5, and the game of the week is New England at Tampa under 48. If somebody wants to become a client of yours, KB, and not only take advantage of the NFL, but the college football, the horse racing, the basketball, where can they go?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook on KB Sports. NBA basketball, I'm on fire. NCAA basketball, college basketball, a little bit of a slow start, but we'll get that turned around. Football, having a good year. All of us on my Facebook page, KB Sports. I also give out a lot of free plays, a lot of contests, etc. And let's get them this weekend, Jason. We need to have a great week.
Let's do it, my brother. We'll talk again on Tuesday.
All right, bud. Thank you.
We go from one professional handicapper to another one. David Stephanoff, the man, the myth, the legend behind followneverfade.com. I know this is the NFL show, David, but I want to give props where props are due. Last 2 nights, I've tailed you on some of your college basketball plays. Duke on Tuesday night, the Hoosiers hitting the over last night. 2 games, 2 wins, my man. It seems like you're rolling in college hoops.
This is what thank you again, Hammer, for having me. This is my bread and butter. This is how I got a name for my name in this industry. This is why I do this for a living. It's just not that I like giving winners for college basketball. I love college basketball, Hammer. It's my kids played high school basketball. I got one son who plays college basketball. I just love it. I love making people money, and I'm glad you followed. Like you said, we've been absolutely on fire so far. First night we went 3-4. I'm not gonna lie. Then we went 5-0 and 5-0. So pretty good 2 nights for us.
Now, before we get into your plays here, did you ever make any bets on the soon-to-be defunct ESPN Bet app? Because ESPN Bet's about to go away.
Well, you know what? First off, that's the worst betting app in the history of gambling. Let's get that straight. I mean, what other app can you make a parlay? If you make a 10-team parlay and you got 9 winners and a push, they give you your money back. That's the worst ran sports book in the world. That's why Barstool and them guys jumped away from them because they knew that was. No, I can say this. I've never even opened the app. I've never deposited in that app, so I cannot say anything else bad about the app. But I just think that has a lot to do with ESPN being woke. And a lot to do with they're frowning on gambling in the sports, and I think they're probably going to get away from it more than they are.
Yeah, ESPN announced earlier today that their own app is going away. They are just going to partner with DraftKings. So DraftKings will become the official ESPN partner. And meanwhile, Penn Gaming, you look at these guys, you bring up that Barstool deal.
He made like a bandit. They
purchased Barstool for an insane amount of money. It tanked early on. They sold it back to Portnoy for just $1, and now they're eating 8 years of money on this ESPN deal. They're basically, you look at the financials here, David, they're down about $1 billion.
But but the thing is with ESPN, they're trying to monopolize everything. We see that, but they're like they took over the red zone. They're going to ruin the red zone because they're putting commercials in there. People that can't afford that, they're just there's like too much politics, too much extra stuff going with ESPN. They're running sports in some ways, and like you can't even watch the morning shows anymore. It's just so bad sometimes.
All right, let's get down to nitty-gritty here. Our game of the week is New England at Tampa Bay. Two quarterbacks right now that are the media darlings. Everybody loves Drake May. And, of course, Baker Mayfield could fart, and everybody wants to give him the MVP award. Tampa Bay, 2.5-point home favorite, over under 48.
I learned my lesson, I think it may be week 3. I'll never bet against Baker Mayfield ever again. I don't care if it's either take Baker Mayfield or don't bet the game. I like Tampa Bay in this place. I think the Patriots, they're young, coming up. They got a quarterback who's going to be the next Tom Brady, the next New England big quarterback. I get that, but I like the overall team, defense, offense. Tampa Bay should be favored here in this spot. The line's kind of low. It's basically a pick'em game. I like Tampa Bay in this spot. Baker Mayfield, I'm not going to get favored. I know they're probably going to be banged up. They're still banged up in the running backs. They're still banged up. I just think their defense is way better than New England's defense. I love what New England's doing. Vrabel, a Greek guy, my Greek brother. I love what they're doing up there. But I really like this. This is the one big spot for me here this week. I'm going to jump on Tampa Bay big time here.
Tampa Bay minus 2.5. I'm with you on that one. That was my play from earlier. And your other bet, that you get to pick any other game on the board, David. Any other game on the board. Anything stick out to you?
The Colts game does. The Colts, they laid a stinker last week. Now they got to go overseas and play the Falcons. This seems like a stinker for me. This line should be more than 6. I like the Falcons in this spot. I just think they got too much offense to keep up with the Colts. It's like a neutral field. I don't think, the weather forecast has been okay. It's forecast to be okay. There's possible rain in the forecast. I just like the Falcons in this place. They're all around. As long as Penix don't make mistakes, they're going to run the ball in the Colts. They got great running backs. They got a great tight end. Their defense is pretty good. They got a great kicker. Tampa Bay, they get Tampa Bay. They give everybody in their division hell every time they play them, except Carolina. That's the only bad game they've played all year with Carolina. I'm going to take the points with the Falcons plus the 6.5 points. You might shop around someplace. I don't know where people 6.5, 7. If you get 7, that's a great number. But definitely, my official play for the show is going to be the Falcons plus 6.5 versus the Colts early Sunday morning.
So you need the Michael Penix-led Falcons team and not the Kirk Cousins-led Falcons team that we saw against the Dolphins, correct? I think that's what we're banking on. I think it's totally night and day back there behind pocket. He's more versatile, and I think he's got his legs. He can take off and run, but I just think that they're offensively they match up great against the Colts. They got great offense. A lot of points coming, I think, definitely Sunday morning. Lots of points. David, if somebody wants to become a client of yours and get the VIP NFL, college football, NBA, or your bread and butter college basketball, where can they go?
Hey, I'm Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, X, every platform. You can message me directly. I'm easy to get a hold of. Like Hammer said, we've been absolutely on fire when college basketball started. On top of the college basketball, last 2 nights in NBA, we went 4-0 in the NBA 2 nights ago. We went 4-1 last night. We lost the Philadelphia 76ers by a half. So I'm locked in this college. I'm basketball all around. You message me directly, sign up. You sign up for my basketball package, you get football free for the rest of your people. That's the best deal you can get in the industry. Hey, thank you again, Hammer, the captain of the ship. Shout out to Kenny KB Sports. Shout out to Rob Kendall, Mary Brownsburg. And let me remind you guys, I gave everybody Forever Young last week in the Breeders' Cup. I hope you guys cashed. I had a lot of people message me directly and say thank you for that. But have a great week, Hammer. I'm fading the Colts, and I'm on Baker Mayfield. And thank you again, but don't forget to follow Never Fade.
All right, there you go. Our professional handicappers laying it all out for you. But we're not done. No. We have got more plays coming up. We're going to ball on a budget. We're going to go down to the prop shop, and Mr. Monday Night will pimp walk into this room, might even do a crip walk. I don't know. He's coming up next. We are back on the Degenerates Next Door. Look, it's not just the teams you can win money on. You can win money on individual players. Grab the kids, get in the car. We're driving down to the prop shop.
I'll take you to the
prop
shop. I'll let you lick the lollipop. Go ahead, girl, don't you stop. Keep on going till you hit the
prop. So let's start with tonight, Thursday Night Football. Again, stinker of a game. I'm on the under, which I hate, which means I'm not expecting a lot of offense. So we're going to go under on a key player tonight. Ashton Genty, running back of the Las Vegas Raiders. The over-under is 55.5 rushing yards. I think Denver has the lead. I think the Raiders have to abandon the run. Denver's rush defense is pretty good. Take a big whiff. This smells like a recipe for an under. Under 55 rushing yards for Ashton Genty. On the other side, because I like to have action at all points of the game, Denver wide receiver, Cortland Sutton. We're going to ride the Lightning on this one and go over 55. 55.5 receiving yards. He's averaging 74 receiving yards in home games this year. Last year, the last time that Sutton played against the Raiders defense, 8 catches, 10 targets, 97 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And the Raiders are awful defending the pass. They're giving up an average of 165 yards per game to wide receivers. So we're going to go over 55.5 receiving yards. A couple deep balls to Cortland Sutton. Moving to Sunday morning, 9:30 from Germany, Tyler Warren, Colts tight end, over 45.5 receiving yards. The Falcons are 24th defensively, defending the tight end. They don't give up many touchdowns to tight ends, but they give up catches and they give up yards. And Danny Dimes, last week, ass. This week, bouncing back a little bit. Over 21.5 completions. 3 of the last 4 games, he's gone over 21.5 completions. And the 1 week that he didn't, he got beat by the hook. So he's right there. Doesn't have to be deep. Not every ball is a home run to Alec Pierce. Get Tyler Warren the ball. Get Jonathan Taylor the ball. Dink and dunk and move the chains, and you cash that over 21.5 completions. And last but not least, Trevor Lawrence. Over 0.5 interceptions at Houston, divisional game. Trevor Lawrence is always good for at least 1. So those are the prop bets for this week. Now, if you still got a little money left, and little is the key word, Rob Kendall, the cheapest man alive, has a way you can take a small amount of money and at the very least double it with a little thing we call balling on a budget.
This happens to be a $100 minimum bet table. Perhaps you'd be more comfortable at one of our lower stakes tables.
Oh! All right, you cheapskates. It's time for Rob Kendall's Ballin' on a Budget.
Very tight with $1.
All right, cheap ass, what do we got?
This week's game is called What If You Were Very Poor?
Go on.
Like normally we'll do, a bunch of favorites. You put them together, you get a plus 200 or something. You bet $10, you make 20. But what if you were really poor and you needed to make money?
Sure.
Now, let me be preface. This is probably a horrible way to go about doing that. But for the premise of this exercise in this segment, here's what we got. We're taking all underdogs on the money line.
Oh!
In which you could turn a very small wager into a fortune.
All underdogs on the money line.
Are you ready for this?
Bring it.
We got the Giants plus 184 at the Bears. This is sort of the game the Bears always lose. You probably feel great about that one. You got the Vikings at home plus 190 against the Ravens.
Oh, Kenny Britt's going to have a conniption. He took the Ravens big.
And then you got the 49ers plus 184 at home. The 49ers at home against the Rams. So you put them together. You got the Giants, the Vikings, the 49ers, all money line, plus 22.39. That's a big number. Put them all together. A $1 bet would pay you $22.39.
$1 could turn into $22. That's fantastic.
Or you could also lose $1.
I think I'm in. You son of a bitch, I'm in. And you don't need no stinking points. It's money line,
That's right,
baby.
Go big or go home.
We've got one more game on the slate, and walking in with his pimp cane is Mr. Monday Night. Last pick of the NFL weekend, Rob. What are we looking at?
Have I mentioned I'm in first place in the college football picks?
You have multiple times.
Whatever I tell you to do, you run in the opposite direction. I bet on the Cowboys last week. Jacoby Brissett out there looking like Fran Tarkenton reincarnated. All right. Look, this is a tough one. It's the Eagles at the Packers. The Eagles are getting 2.5. I'm making this bet solely out of I hate the Eagles. So I'm going to have to root for them so that way if they win.
You're like the dude in the Big Lebowski. Man, I hate the Eagles.
I hate the Eagles, and it would just pain me to no end if I bet against them and they won because then I would hate them and lose money. So I'm going to take the Eagles. I think it's pretty easy. Even game. Eagles getting 2.5.
ELGSES Eagles! Let's go, Birds!
Let's go, Birds!
ELGS!
That's not how you spell Eagles. All right, so Rob is on Philly. What was the line on that?
2.5. We got Eagles getting 2.5.
All right. So I am on the under on Thursday night tonight, 43. I'll lay 2.5 with Tampa Bay. Your plays again?
I have got the Eagles getting 2.5 at home against the Packers, and I'm going under 48.5 in the Tampa Bay New England game.
Kenny Britt of KB Sports also taking the under in the Tampa Bay New England game, and he's riding Baltimore -4.5. David Stephanoff, Fall Never Fade. He's with me, Tampa Bay -2.5, and he's taking the Atlanta Falcons +6.5. If you can find it at 7, jump on that against the Colts. If you want the prop bets, if you want all the money line underdog picks that Rob just laid out and balling on a budget, just go back and write those down. Listen to the podcast a second time. It's better the second time around. All right, for all of our dudes, for Kenny Britt of KB Sports, David Stephanoff of Fall Never Fade, the tax cutting machine, Rob Kendall, I'm Jason Hammer. Good luck, everybody. May the odds be ever in your favor, and we'll talk to you Tuesday for the college football betting show where Rob Kendall is in first place.
Yeah!
Generates next door.